There's also almost no spice. I'm just gonna put the Kindle down because it's not like the book is here. I'll put a picture up. Hi everyone, my name is Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading, and today I'm starting a very fun themed vlog. For the longest time, I have been sure that I only liked to read physically. I don't know what it is. I love having a physical book in my hands, and I did not really use ebooks. I did not have an ebook reader, was not an ebook girly. Then I got a NetGalley account, and we all know how that goes. It's a spiraling downward spiral of ARCs, and they're all ebooks. I was using the NetGalley app, but I didn't really love how that worked, and I've decided to finally get a Kindle. I got one this year for Christmas. I was gonna buy one for myself. My mom found out and decided to buy one for me, which was so sweet of her. And now I own a Kindle. I have just recently been starting to use my Kindle. I've maybe read 1 or 2 books on my Kindle at this point. And I've also signed up for a free trial of KU just to kind of give it a try. Now, before having KU, I really only thought of KU as having smutty romances. I don't know why, because it does have a lot of other things on there, thrillers, fantasy, all the things. But in my mind, that is what KU was. Probably from what I've heard on Bookstagram, everyone's talking about KU smutty romances. And that's just what was in my head when thinking about a Kindle. So, even though that is a misconception, and there are so many other things on KU, I thought, why doesn't a physical book reader jump into KU and read some KU smutty romances? For this, I needed some help. So I asked some of my friends to recommend KU romances. I went to a couple of my good friends who read a lot of KU romances, mostly Crystal from Bond Book Reviews and Neva from Reading with Neva. They both read quite a few KU romances, so I knew they would be the best place to get some recommendations. But even before I asked the question, I knew one of the ones Crystal was going to recommend to me. I would have been shocked if Crystal didn't recommend this to me, and she did not let me down, and it was Planet Barbarians. I knew this was coming. Crystal loves the series. I think Crystal is on book 14. Kind of just always has a Planet Barbarians book in the mix of what they are reading. And I knew Crystal was going to make me read this. I knew it. And you know what? I'm going into it with an open mind. Recently, I have been loving romances. So maybe I will also love alien smut romances. Who knows? You never know until you try. So tonight, Crystal has sprints on her channel. I will be going on sprints and hopefully reading the entirety of Planet Barbarians on sprints. It's not very long. It's actually a very short book, or I'll read most of it on sprints and finish it later. But I'm hoping to read most of it or all of it on sprints tonight. For those that don't know, Planet Barbarians follows a group of women, and I think each book follows a different woman, who have been abducted by aliens. Their alien ship that abducted them docks on an ice planet and just abandons these women there. And the only people who live there are blue aliens. And then there's smut. That is what Planet Barbarians is about from my knowledge and from reading the synopsis. So that's what I'm going to be reading. I'm going to be reading book 1. I'm only committing to the first book. If I like it, who knows? I may go down a rabbit hole. We'll see. But this is only one of 3 books I will be reading. I will let you know the other books as we go through this vlog, and we will see how a self-proclaimed physical book reader enjoys diving down the depths of KU romances. Hi everyone, I finished Planet Barbarians last night on sprints, but went right to bed after sprints. So it's 7:30 in the morning. It's 7:30 in the morning. And I wanted to let you know my thoughts. It was a very quick read. Like I said, I finished it in 4 sprints, so it was fast. And I actually really liked it. I kind of went in thinking I knew what Planet Barbarians was, and I did, but I was expecting it to be basically all smut, and there's actually quite a bit of plot in there of a sci-fi adventure stuck on a planet plot that I wasn't expecting, which was a very pleasant surprise. there was a really good mix of plot to smut ratio, which is what I like when I pick up a romance book. This was obviously not super in-depth plot, but there still was a plot there that I enjoyed. I am going to be continuing with this series, not right now, probably over the next few months. I don't see it happening in February, just with everything that I have going on in February, but who knows, maybe. Never say never. But like I said, I did really enjoy it. I also really liked our main character, Georgie. Her personality was really interesting to me and kind of kept me going through the story. And also the audiobook was pretty good. And Crystal said that the male and female narrators for the books are the same in every book, even though the girls are different. And the narrator just kind of changes their voice just a little bit. So that I'm excited about because I did really enjoy the audiobooks. Like I said, this kind of just follows a group of women that get stuck on a planet. They've been kidnapped by aliens. The aliens ditch them on a planet. They find big blue aliens, and they kind of get the aliens to help save them, per se, as well as have some alien smut. That's pretty much the entire plot of this book, but like I said, there was a lot more sci-fi, exploring the planet, various things of that nature that I wasn't expecting and that I really did enjoy. That being said, I am about to start my next book for this KU vlog tonight on sprints. I was not supposed to do sprints tonight. I was going to miss Tuesday night sprints this week and do Wednesday night sprints. Now I will be doing both because Crystal and I will be buddy reading a KU book, which is Find Me, which is the first book in the Witsec series. I cannot think of the author's name, and since I don't have a physical copy, I can't just look and read it, so it's on the screen. This book, Neva has been going on about 4 weeks. So when I asked for KU romances, I was not surprised that this ended up on the list. This, I believe, I think Neva said it was a poly romance. Do not quote me on that. I will know more when I read the book. But I think it follows a girl, which from the synopsis, it didn't really say the name. So I do not know the name of our main character. But her whole family has been murdered, and she's now in the Witness Protection Program, hence the name of the series. She moves to a beautiful estate and meets the neighbors, who are 4 brothers. And I believe through the 4 books, she has a relationship with the 4 brothers. I don't know how they overlap or what exactly, how that takes place, but that is what I kind of surmised from what I remember from Neva telling me and also from the synopsis. That is really all I know going into this, is that Neva loved it, and that's kind of my understanding. Again, don't quote me on exactly how the 4 brothers and this main character connect into a romance, but I'm pretty sure at some point she has romances with all of them in a smutty way. How exactly those overlap and go on, I can't tell you at this point. But maybe when I come back, I will be able to tell you that because I will have read the book. So like I said, I will be starting that tonight on sprints. I don't know if I'll be able to read the whole book on sprints like I did last night because I don't have an audiobook for this one. I have to physically read it, and that means I don't tend to read as fast because last night, if I had to get up and do something, if I had to get my son something or do a little bit of housework, I could do that and still be listening. Obviously, I can't do that without an audiobook, so it takes me a little bit longer to read it, but I still think I might be able to finish it over the next 2 days. You'll know very shortly. I'll know in about 1 to 2 days, but you'll know in about 30 seconds when we switch to the next clip. I have so much to say. Neva was right to recommend this series, but did not prepare me that I would need to immediately go into book 2, and I don't have time right now, but I'm gonna have to make time at some point because I need to read book 2. So here's the situation. This follows Shiloh. Shiloh is in the Witness Protection Program. Shiloh witnessed her family be murdered by a stalker killer and has survived that, but he is still at large. Her uncle is a U.S. Marshal and whisks her off to a hiding spot about a year after the murders. I will say that Shiloh is 18. Everyone in this book was a lot younger than I was thinking. Didn't bother me. They're all adults still, but just so you know. And they're all fairly young. Like I would say the oldest person is probably like 25, 26. Like they're not old. But just so you know, just for inquiring minds, because I was surprised just because I didn't realize. Again, didn't bother me, but just wanted to let you know. Also, there is almost no smut in this book. There's a tiny little smutty-ish scene in this book, but I would almost say this is completely not smutty. But like it leans into that it's going to be spicy later on, but it's a super slow burn romance. It is slow burn. This is also a reverse harem romance. I didn't mention that when I did my synopsis at the beginning because I wasn't really sure exactly how all the relationships were going to shake down, but now I have a better outlook. So again, this follows Shiloh, witness protection, moves into this house. Her uncle leaves because she is an adult and she's going to be living in this house on her own. And next door live 4 brothers. 2 of them are the same age as Shiloh and the other 2 are a tad bit older. And quickly we start to see that there are connections between all 4 of them in varying different ways. But like I said, this book has almost no smut in it, but I think that's good because it really gave us time and the author time to really set up these relationships so that you are fully invested in each person and in each relationship to Shiloh and to each other as brothers in the whole situation going forth. We also learn a lot about what happened to Shiloh and this murder situation, and that I really enjoyed because you know I love like a serial killer type situation, and it really gave me those vibes. So this had everything that I wanted in it. This was great. It was fantastic. I'm going to give it 5 stars. I'm going to give it 5 stars. It's a 5-star book for me. I could not put it down. I started it on sprints last night, and this morning I was like, oh, okay, I need to read a book club book. Nope, haven't read that book club book at all. Haven't picked it up. All I've done is read my Kindle and read this book until I finished the whole book. I read it in less than 24 hours. And a lot of that I was sleeping or sprinting, like talking on the camera. I devoured this book. And I just have to give it 5 stars. I just finished it. It kind of leaves, it is a cliffhanger. It's not like a super huge cliffhanger, but it is a cliffhanger and I need to read the second book. But like I said, I need to finish the Besties Book Club book. I need to read that. So I need to take a pause from this vlog to read the Besties Book Club book. And also the next book for this vlog is not the second book for this series. So like, this is the only book in this series you're going to see in this vlog. If I end up binging the whole series, keep an eye up for my monthly wrap-up because that's where you will find out that information. I think it's highly possible. But I am trying to read a lot of books in February, so how I'm going to fit these in, I don't know. But things sometimes have to happen. Okay, we're going to just stop. That's going to take up a place in my mind until I finally get to the second book. But I'm just going to have to put it aside for right now because, like I said, I have things that I actually need to read, and I still have one more KU romance for this vlog. So let's talk about that. The last KU romance that I will be reading in this vlog, and this is going very well, for someone who has never read KU and didn't even own a Kindle until a month and a half ago. It hasn't even been that long. A month and a week ago. I've been missing out, okay? We have a 4-star, we have a 5-star. I have been missing out. I'm fixing it now. The next book for this vlog is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. This follows a fictional billionaire who owns an amusement park or a set of amusement parks, something like that. And he hires an assistant to help run his empire, and a romance ensues between him and his assistant. That is pretty much all I know about it. I know it's supposed to be kind of like a fictional Walt Disney World situation, but that's pretty much all I know because I'm learning the KU synopsises are very small. They're very small synopses. They don't tell you much going in. I'll tell you more once I've read it and I'll give you my actual, like, this is what's happening, unless that's really all that's happening. But I'm going to go read this. Well, first I'm going to read the Besties Book Club book, and then I'm going to read this. And then I might have to go read the second Witset book. First things first, I'm going to finish my book club book, and then I'm going to go read this, and then I'll come back and talk to you. So I finished The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I'm gonna give this 3 stars, and I can't really put my finger on exactly what just didn't jive with me for this book. I just wasn't as connected to Rowan and Zara's relationship as much as I want to be in a contemporary romance. I want to care about the romance, and I didn't for whatever reason. And like I said, I can't really put my finger on it. So here's what it's actually about, because I think I said it was about an assistant when I did my synopsis in the last clip, and that is not true. So this follows Rowan. Rowan is the grandson of Brady Kane. Brady Kane started the Dreamland amusement park and subsequent businesses that stem off that. Again, it's very much a fictional Walt Disney World. Brady has passed away and left each of his grandsons kind of a task that they need to perform to get their shares into the business and their inheritance. Rowan's is that he has to do something to the amusement park, so he goes and becomes the director at the amusement park for 6 months. There he meets Zara. Zara is working in the hair salon area of the amusement park, and they are grumpy sunshine, which is definitely the trope of this book. Grumpy sunshine. Rowan is grumpy, Zara is sunshine, and that is what's happening here. Zara applies to become a part of the creators portion of the park. She gets hired and starts creating for the park, basically, and a workplace romance ensues from there. So like I said, I did not dislike this book. I just didn't connect with the romance as much as I would have liked. So I'm gonna come out at a 3-star on this one. I liked the writing style. I did find this book a tad long for a contemporary romance, maybe a little unnecessarily long, but that didn't really detract from my enjoyment too much. However, that is the last book on my vlog for a physical reader tries KU. I actually had a great time diving into Kindle Unlimited romances. We had a 4-star, a 5-star, and a 3-star, a little bit of everything. But I actually really enjoyed my time with it. I really enjoyed my time. I will definitely be keeping my Kindle Unlimited subscription and reading more of some of the series, especially the Whitsex series and Planet Barbarians. I've actually already read the 2nd book in the Whitsex series, so yeah, definitely continuing with that one. But that is it for this vlog. I'm new to the KU side of BookTube, so please put some recommendations down below. They don't have to be romances. I love thrillers and fantasy, so and anything you recommend, drop it down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.